David T. was 20 years old when I first met him and is a significant character in this story. I first encountered him only briefly a few months earlier. This was before I moved into his bedsit in Kelvinside. In 1978, me and my mate Ali, both us were 18, used to visit a family on the other side of Pollock to where we lived. We traveled over there on my Suzuki 100cc motorbike. At the age of 15, year 1975, my family moved out to East Kilbride, and so I used to travel back to Pollock on my bike to see my old mates. The family we regularly visited consisted of a 15-year-old youngster nicknamed Splee, who had dark, curly hair, and an 18-year-old girl called Lavinia, the older sister of Splee. Their mother was called Jenny, and there was also a friend of Splee called Andy. David T. was the boyfriend of Lavinia, and I met him only once when he turned up in his car to pick up his girlfriend, Lavinia. The husband of Jenny, Splee, and Lavinia's father was estranged. He worked for British Telecom, BT, in a senior administrative position. This husband-father was an obnoxious man, evil, in fact. Jenny, the mother figure, was a good-natured person, and so was Splee, inheriting his mother's personality traits. However, Lavinia had the evil characteristics of the father, the man who worked for BT, and David T. and Lavinia were an item. Me and Ali, both 18, were older than Splee, 15, and Andy, 16, and I had a motorbike, and so we were seen to be cool in their naive eyes. Splee used to sit on an armchair with his shirt completely unbuttoned, baring his pasty skin and flabby chest. He was addicted to salt and kept a salt cellar next to him. Every few minutes, he would pour a line of Saxa salt on the back of his hand, then soak it down. He sat right next to a gas-flamed fire, which he constantly switched to half if he was getting too hot, and then to full if he was feeling a chill. Andy, on the couch, and Splee, on the armchair, sat about, talking inane gibberish while drawing pictures of each other using felt pens and scraps of paper. Andy's nickname for Lavinia's younger brother was actually Splodge, because he looked like an ink blot. But one day when Andy was composing a drawing, he was entitling it "When his felt pen ran out of ink and all he could draw was SPL." Then some E's, squiggles, which looked like Splee, and so that is where the name came from. And it stuck. Because Ali and me were taller, heavier set, and older than the young lads, we were seen to be bears, which meant big, streetwise, tough blokes. Their nickname for Ali was Bear Splee, and I was known as Gambit, because I wore a khaki jacket and supposedly looked like Gareth Hunt from the TV series The New Avengers.